and welcome. If you're watching this video, that means that I was not able to check you in person. Hi Kiwi, which is a bummer, but I wanted to give a little video to give a walkthrough of the van and just how some like little quirks work so that you're able to enjoy your experience. And if you do have any questions, you can reach out to me. My number will be given to you at this point. But let's dive in and I'll give you a little tour of the van. Bertha. So first of all, in the glove compartment, you'll find everything you need as far as registration, safety inspection, insurance is all in this little guy, plus the user manual if you have any issues. Please sign the guest book if you will, and then this Big Island Revealed is like the #1 book to reference for things to do on the island. So that's included for you. I'll actually show you while we're up here the swivel seats. So there's a little red lever here. The swivel seats do add about 1.5 inches to the seats, so you're gonna feel pretty high up, but you'll just push that down and then it turns. And you might have to, like right now the chair was in a good position to turn it all the way around. You might have to move it forward or backward if it's like a little long, if it like is running into the frame. But generally you shouldn't have any issues there. We have an outdoor table, which it's not exactly made to hold like human weight, just like light accessories, but you have this available as well. I like to, if it's a nice evening, I like to even bring the stove out and cook out here if it's not raining. Kiwi, no, come down, come on. I do the whole Hawaiian thing and take my shoes off to get in the van because you will quickly find that sand and dirt gets in here so quickly. So normally what I'll do is I actually come through the front because there's another little mat there that kind of collects the dirt, and then you can keep the back as clean as possible. But if you do need to sweep out any of the dirt or sand, there's a little room provided and all the cleaning supplies are below the sink here. So let me see here. Okay, we got the outdoor table. Next is our dining room table, which is a really awesome swivel table here. You'll just want to make sure that it's secured down when you take off, but you can loosen it and slide it around in between the seats. That other seat also swivels, and then you have a spot to eat. You can also lower the table. Just make sure when you stow it that it's back in this position. Something to mention here, if this like is stuck against the thing, you can like pull it out without tightening or loosening, and then you can do whatever you need to. So like right now, so I'm trying to tighten it, but it hits that. So I pull it out, I move it back, and then I can tighten it more, if that makes sense. Okay, so it's in the stow position. That's our dining room table. Next up is the fridge, and actually you can come up here, Marcy. The fridge has a little latch. There's 3 places that have latches that I'll show you before you take off. So the fridge is off right now. Basically between the fridge and the ventilation fan, you want to be kind of strategic about your power usage. So I would recommend keeping the temperature, once you get in the van and you put some groceries in the fridge, then turning it on, keeping it around 50 degrees. And you can, if you think you're gonna run out of battery, which I'll talk with you about in a second, you can always turn off the fridge at night, and then that way you can turn on the ventilation fan and know that you'll have the airflow at night. But the fridge is both a chest freezer on one side and a fridge on the other. I normally just keep it open, the whole thing, so you can put as much in there as you need to. And that is the fridge. You can latch it there so it doesn't go flying open, which is not that it's happened before. And next we have, okay, so the second latch is this outdoor table here. And then the third latch is this pantry back here. So this is normally where I put all of my like food supplies and everything when I go grocery shopping. And if you ever have issues pushing it back in, like sometimes, okay, that was pretty good. Sometimes it jams and you just want to pull it a little bit towards you to the left and it'll slide right in. And then you can hook it right here and it'll stay nice and secure. Next up is our compostable toilet. So what's really nice about the compostable toilet is it's a dry toilet. So there's no black water or sewage that is produced because of the toilet. Because your pee goes in the front and the poo is in the back, which means the pee you can dispose of at any restroom, and then the poo you can dispose of in a dumpster. So we like to ask that you dispose of any of the tanks before you return the van. That is very kind for me and our cleaner. And what's really nice is the toilet has a ventilation fan that pushes any bad smells through the exhaust tubing to the outside of the vehicle. So you should be safe and good to go. I usually recommend, if you're around a public restroom, like try to go there, but it's kind of here if you need it. So that's the compostable toilet. And then next is the ventilation fan. So we have the Max Air fan. It has a cover for rain, so you can use it even when it's raining. You can simply open the fan if you want to with this button that opens and closes the fan, or you can turn it all the way on. Oh, wait, here we go. Oh, let's see. There we go. There we go. So now it's on. It's at 90% speed, which I would not recommend. I'd recommend starting your first night at a pretty low speed and seeing what that does to your battery. If it's cool out, I'd recommend just opening the fan and not leaving it on so that you can preserve your battery. Generally it'll be okay, but you do have to be a little bit careful between the fridge, the fan, the lights, and if you're using any of these outlets to like charge your computer or charge other devices, then you'll just want to be cautious about how much you're using the battery and how much sun you're getting during the day. It usually takes like 2 full days to fill up the battery to 100% without taking anything from it. Next up, our sink. So there's a manual foot pump down here for the sink, and you can turn the sink to the outside. It like barely makes it over the edge there if you just need to rinse anything off outside. We'll replenish your dish soap and your hand soap. And finally in here we have the reflection covers, which I'll show you. So we have reflection covers for every window space. And if you know about camper vans, you'll know that the vast majority of heat in a camper van comes through the windows. So during the day, if it's sunny out, you'll want to cover up the windows to try to keep it cool inside. We do have Havelock sheep's wool insulation in the van, which I'm really excited about. It's like non-toxic, it's really wonderful, and it also breathes with the humidity, so you can feel really good. Which means that the van stays cooler for longer, but once it heats up, then that heat also gets kind of trapped in here. So in the afternoon time from like 3 on, you'll want to try to keep the van open, and you'll definitely want to try to have the reflectors on there for as long as you can to avoid that overheat in the van. All of the other cabinets have these like really secure locks. So just make sure before you take off that you hear that sound on all of them. For example, I think this one's good. Yeah, that one wasn't. So before you take off, we have a checklist of like, hey, before you drive off, make sure that you do these things. It's okay if you forget, but we try to make it as easy as possible. Next up is our solar shower in the back. So I will show you that next. So we have shower curtain hooks and then a little shower curtain in the back here. So this will be in this mesh bag, and you can hang it here on these 2 hooks. And then this is our solar shower. So what I like to do is if I go to the beach during the day, I'll lay this either like there, you can kind of like prop it up on the windshield, and with the reflection covers in the windshield too, and that like provides it's like baking it. And because it's black, it'll heat up, it'll get really nice and warm, which is really nice. And then all you do is it's a manual foot pump, so you don't hang it, you just pump it up with your foot and it builds pressure. You need to pump it, I think it's about like 15 times is what they recommend. And then you can spray it here, and you can pull this on over the nozzle and hang it up if you want to. What I recommend when you have if you want the curtain for some extra privacy, what I recommend doing is just holding it and spraying yourself this way to not get it on the van. And then any extra water goes on the shower curtain. When you're done, what's really important is that you release the pressure. So it's not supposed to be stored with all of this pressure in it, as you can tell. So you just want to release the pressure. You don't have to empty the water, just release the pressure, tie it back up, and then you'll want to undo this little nozzle as well. So release both of those. This one, it has it on here too. Kitty's like, I want to be part of the video. And then you can just stow it in the back. There is also a bamboo mat back there that you can stand on to keep things a little bit cleaner. And then finally the battery. So here, actually, can I take that to show? I'll show the battery really quick. So this is the Jackery. And if you click this button here, you'll see the display. You'll see how much is getting input, so it's not sunny right now, and how much is going out. If you ever are like turning on the lights and they don't turn on, what you can do is come back here and double check that this little green light is on here. And these two, so this is the lights, the ventilation fan, and the ventilation fan on the toilet. These two are the fridge and the outlet for the electrical outlet. So you'll want to make sure the green is on here and the green is on here. That means that all systems are a go. If something's not working, check that first. Sometimes if you feel like you're not getting enough solar power and it's not charging enough, you'll just want to come in and make sure that these are pushed in the whole way and that this here is pushed in. But that shouldn't be a problem, and you should have enough power coming in if you're just kind of being a little bit conservative between the fan and the fridge. Okay, so let me see here. Okay, that is everything. If you do want to rent again, we do rent directly to customers. We have our own rental insurance, so if you have a great experience and you want to rent again, you can reach out directly to us and rent with us, and that'll be cheaper for you because you can avoid having to pay extra insurance for the third-party sites. And if you did rent to us through a third-party site, it always helps us if you leave a review if you had a good experience, and we're super open to any feedback or things that we can do better to give you a better experience. So thank you so much for renting through Bertha, and we hope you have a great trip. Thanks!